in California. A volunteer chaplain for a fire department and for a police department. They have been told that they may not pray in Jesus' name anymore. What that means is when they've gone in their capacity as chaplains to public events or station events, right, where everybody is gathered, they pray, and they pray in Jesus' name. And they've been told they are to stop doing this or they will be dismissed. They are to stop doing this or they'll be dismissed. Now, obviously Christian, and they're upset by this, and so they've reached out and they've got some legal assistance, and they're claiming this is a violation of their rights and freedoms. I think a violation of their First Amendment right to worship and to have a religion. And I understand the argument. Here's a Christian minister being told that you may not pray in Jesus' name. So here's the thing. Here's the thing with pastoral care, as I mentioned just a minute ago, and here's the thing with chaplaincy. A chaplain is a kind of minister like no other. A chaplain knows no denomination. A chaplain knows no religion. Obviously, they have their own faith. Chaplains are usually, almost exclusively, I would argue, they have some form of belief, some form of spiritual beliefs. They have a religion. But that religion, that personal faith, isn't meant to come out in chaplaincy. I know that sounds strange, right? I'm a priest. I will pray in Jesus' name. I'm a priest. I will bless people in Jesus' name. I'm a priest. I will forgive people in Jesus' name. As a priest, what I do, as a Christian priest, what I do is it is done in Jesus' name. Absolutely. It's because of my job. But if I go into the hospital as a chaplain, even though I'm Reverend Ed Travers, if I go into the hospital in a chaplaincy capacity, I'm not going in as a priest. I'm not going in to give last rites. I'm not going in to bring communion. I'm not going in for a baptism. I'm not going in for a wedding. I'm going in as a chaplain. That I'm going in under in a different capacity. And to be an effective chaplain, you must trust that the God you worship is working even though you never invoke his name or your God's name, because as a chaplain, you are there for everyone. If you go into the hospital as a chaplain, I worked on the nephrology ward, so kidney and liver illness. I worked on that floor as a chaplain. I visited with Christians, and I visited with atheists, and I visited with Muslims, and I visited with Hindus, and I visited with Jewish people. All kinds of folks. I visited with Christians of various denominations. I visited with anybody who would let me sit with them. I'm there on that floor for everybody. I go to them where they are. I do not ask them in any way, shape, or form to come to me, even an inch. I do not ask them to suspend their faith in order to listen to mine. I do not ask them to suspend their beliefs in order that I may share my beliefs with them, even though I'm doing it in a pastoral way. And it's the same for the chaplain of a fire department, or the chaplain of a police department. I'm there for every firefighter. I am there for every police officer. I am there for the administrators. I'm there for the secretaries. I'm there for the janitors. I'm there for the guys that wash the vehicles. I'm there for whoever needs me in that moment. I am there for the families of these people. I am their chaplain. And if they happen to be Hindu and I walk in Jesus' name this and in Jesus' name that, I might not be welcomed back. As a chaplain, you have to suspend the invocation of your particular belief system in order to provide a safe place, in order to provide a shoulder that everyone feels comfortable leaning, an ear that everyone feels comfortable sharing. So these guys in California, we have the right to pray in Jesus' name. As a chaplain, you suspend that right. And you give up that right for the spiritual health of everybody that you are there to assist and provide for. It sounds to me like these guys are going in as pastors. I'm here as a Christian pastor. Chaplain's not the same as a pastor. They don't operate in the same way. A chaplain's not the same as a priest, not the same as a minister. A chaplain's not the same as a padre. Right? A chaplain suspends their belief system. They suspend their religious understandings in order to provide for everyone. As a Christian, if you're thinking, hey, I'll go into chaplains. So I know in Texas, they're talking about bringing chaplains into school. Personally, I love the idea of bringing chaplains into school, so long as they're real chaplains. But a lot of Christians are going to show up and they're going to say, I'm here to proclaim the good news of Jesus Christ. As a chaplain, that's not your job. As a chaplain, doing that will cause harm. As a chaplain, doing that will limit the number of people you can actually help for the low, low price of just suspending your religion. Believing and trusting that as you go in and provide for people, as you go in and provide for their needs, despite the fact that you're not mentioning your God, that your God is at work, that your God's at work anyway. Amen.